What's up, fellow Vanguard nerds? I'm Babblerab, and right here is totally not a Cosmic Hero deck. It's actually a Metalborg deck. So, this is kind of a deck that I've had a long history with. I started building it quite a while ago, probably about a year, no, probably about 2 years or so ago. This is before the Metalborg support got released, obviously. And I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the deck. When I first started, it did what the deck was supposed to do with the whole Guard Restriction Legion thing, but considering the fact that it was not Bermuda Triangle or Nubatama, I wasn't willing to invest too heavily in it. I mean, at one point I had decided that I was going to play this as a competitive deck, but that never really took off, considering the fact the person I was going to partner up with to get the deck to a competitive level just lost interest in the deck entirely. Kopak, that's you. Shoutouts to Kopak. He's also part of the channel now. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a love-hate relationship with the deck. Very rocky time up to getting the deck to the point where it's currently at, which finally I have a stable build, but even then, it's still just a casual deck. I play this just for fun, so don't expect to go and win any tournaments with it. It's more just a casual deck. I just wanted to show you guys some of my other decks that aren't Nubatama, Bermuda Triangle, etc, etc. So yeah, this is the Metalborg deck that I've been working on for a while, and I am finally in a position where I'm very pleased to be playing it, and yeah, it's finally performing at the level, or it's finally performing smooth as I want it to. So for a starter, playing Cosmic Hero Groundhop. Reason being is that after the second Guilt Digger stride, by himself, he puts himself over to 46k, so you'll be able to get that extra counter charge off of him, so it's not too big of a deal, and his skill can usually be achieved right around when you need the counterblast. And the other reason is that the previous starter that I had, which was Metalborg Black Boy, I just found that I wasn't using him much. And Local Battler is okay, but I prefer playing more of a stride build with the deck, so as a result I'm playing Groundhop just because I can get the counter charge off, and he does power up another unit by 3k, so that's really nice. Don't know why the strides are up at the top, but whatever. So for our triggers, we got 4 of the Dolphin, which is the the heal trigger counterpart for the unflipping Gguard. I happened to manage to get my hands on a playset of him, so kind of just rolled with it. Haven't used the counter charge effect yet, but it's there and it beats the heck out of Black Nurse, solely because I don't really need to use too many Metalborgs in this deck outside of the grade 3s. And then 4 Operator Girl Reika. She's really good because if you swing and the Vanguard's power is number 37 or greater, you get a draw, and this does stack for each copy of Reika, as well as if you attack multiple times. I do play 1 copy of Laurel because I managed to get my hands on one back a while ago, so as should be seen in like one of my previous videos where Kopak was like unboxing a box of that where he regretted his life choices. But anyway, so yeah, this is every time the Vanguard attacks, you draw from her, and it stacks for each copy. So say you get 4 and you've gone into like, I don't know, let's say Guilt Digger, and somehow you hit because you're just super lucky like that. You would get 4 draws, and then the restand you get 4 more draws. So if like a stride unit like Heavy Duke gets a restand off of a Laurel or just swings and you've got like 3 or 4 of these Reikas on the card, yeah, gets pretty scary and your hand gets pretty big really quick. And then 8 crit. All Metalborg crits. Maybe there might be another critical trigger which might do a little more for the deck. It's not Metalborg Counterblast reliant at all, and really it doesn't require like any Metalborg rear guards in name, so I could honestly just take this crit out, sub it out for something you could like throw into your soul or whatever, which would actually combo really well with another card. So the Grass card is good because you can superpower your Vanguard when you're in Legion, not in Stride. That's important. The Battle Roller, honestly, if I can find like a crit that just soul charges itself to either unflip a damage or give 3k to any unit, I'm probably going to just sub out Battle Roller for that, because there's really not too reliant on Metalborg names here outside of the grade 3s. So triggers especially you don't really need. They can be anything you want. So yeah, that's the grade 0s. Grade 1s. Now I'm weird. I do have 4 copies of this PG, but I'm weird. I'm running a Quintet Wall. Why am I running a Quintet Wall? Because why not? Let's do it for fun. So you got 3 PGs. These are the standard. I think it's the first Depot PG. It's pretty good. Does what I need it to, which is just stopping an attack. And then playing the Metalborg Quintet Wall. This thing is pretty funny because I've actually got its effect off, and not got the effect off, but I've managed to save myself from an attack with this thing. I'm doing this primarily just for fun and because it can sort of work, but I do have a 4th copy of Diamond Ace. It's just I'm trying out the Quintet wall just for fun. So, again, casual deck so I can get away with experimenting. And then this thing was a pain in the ass to find. 3 copies of the Stride Enabler. My new idea for this deck is to stride as much as possible, so I'm playing 3 Stride Enabler in order to access my G-Zone as much as possible because these guys are the star players right here. And possibly him. So yeah, I play 3 Stride Enabler because I want to access my G-Zone as much as possible in this deck. It was a pain in the ass to find. This guy was fairly expensive at one point. It's fairly expensive being a relative term because I try not to spend too much money on the deck, but I got him for probably like $3, so it's a good improvement. Juan Laurel, I haven't seen him online. He's $40 online right now where I live, and I live in Canada, and I'm not spending $40 on another copy of Laurel, so I bought this one for like $24 probably about a year ago. So yeah, Juan Laurel because I don't know where I can find another one for cheap, and I'm not willing to spend a lot of money on him. It should be fairly obvious what the frick he does. He's frickin' Commander Laurel. And then 3 Mist Ghost. Same thing, if your Vanguard is in Legion, which will happen after you've gone through most of your strides, your Vanguard will be sitting in Legion because Guilt Digger can set up for your Legion. Mist Ghost basically gives 4k to both units on your Vanguard circle. Sorry, yeah, choose up 2 units on Vanguard circle to get 4k. So that's an 8k boost, and in late game, if I have a decent amount of combo pieces in my hand, I can get my Legion Vanguard up to like insane numbers. It's nice. This card's really good. I enjoy it. And then this card is also phenomenal. So we got 3 copies of Reducing Monster Weakening. Soul Blast 2, when your Vanguard is attacked or attacks, you Soul Blast 2, I already said that, and you give one of their units minus 10k, whatever's attacking him or being attacked. Number. Blah, blah, blah. Choose a unit your opponent's Vanguard gains 10k, so that's kind of my mentality of if I can find a crit trigger that can soul charge itself to give 3k to a unit, that'll even set up for this guy's effect better. I can sort of build soul in this deck, but not really too much. But this guy's good offensively and defensively because it can reduce power of your opponent's units, which is really nice. I played Shiryuki at one point. He's like half as good as Shiryuki. Grade 2s, 3 Russell Blizzard. It's Metalborg. This guy can pump up your Vanguard by 6k, which is important. So that's really all there is to say about that. We don't have too many other options at the moment, in my opinion. I cut Dryon from the deck entirely, so I have no reason to run Lion Editor. I found the 12ks just weren't doing anything. Urbuster. The only reason I play 4 right now is because I'm terrified to not get another copy of him for when I go into Guilt Digger. I've rarely got his actual effect off when my Vanguard goes Legion, because this effect does not properly perform Legion. It just puts a heart card, or just puts the Legion mate into the heart of, into the heart. It puts the Legion mate in with the current heart card, which will be almost all the time Sinbuster. So, yeah. Might cut him down to like 3 or 2, but as I said, I'm terrified of running out of copies of Urbuster and then miswriting, or not miswriting, fail mating. This guy's freaking amazing, Blacking Barrow. So what he does is, if your Vanguard's in Legion, he becomes 11k. And then when your Vanguard attacks, you counterblast 1, soul charge himself, so there's some additional soul charging for weakening. And he powers up the Vanguard by his power. So 9k, 9k, 9k. So if you have like 2 or 3 of these guys, 18k, 27k, 36k, big numbers. Depot pull like big numbers, and then Sinbuster's like you don't get to guard with PGs or higher, so then you just say bring your G-Guards on. Those are the grade 2s. Grade 3s, 4 Baron Grader. His sole purpose is to search Sinbuster. Because honestly, because I'm not playing Black Boy anymore, I don't need to run Dryon. So yeah, Baron Grader's there as Stride Fodder and to search Sinbuster. And for Sinbuster, this is basically everything you want to see on your Vanguard every single time. And as long as you hit grade 3, it's impossible to not see this guy. Because Baron Grader ensures that you see this guy, so I will always see Sinbuster whenever I play this deck. His effect, 20k or greater. If he hits, you draw a card. 30k or greater while he's in Legion. Your opponent can't guard with PGs. So if you can turn the game into a grind game, they're pretty screwed. I did take out Grand Ranger, which was like the 10k booster under Stride. But that was for a different reason. Anyway, we'll move on to the Stride deck now. So, 2 Heavy Dukes. Reason why I'm only playing 2 is because I don't have 4. I would play 4 of this because he combos really well with Guild Digger. When I say combo, I mean you can use Guild Digger to flip up any Metalborg at all, which can mean a spare Heavy Duke, because I do want to actually resolve Guild Digger's effect more than twice a game without having to worry about running out of Heavy Dukes. So I would play 4 Heavy Dukes if I could find 4. His skill is when he attacks, you counterblast 2, and then you draw a card for each of your heart cards. And then if you have a Metalborg in your heart, your opponent can't call grade 1 or greater to guards. So this guy's really good for applying pressure. And again, he combos very nicely with... Where are you? He combos very nicely with Reika because if you can stack her effect, get him up to 26 after the boost. Or not 26, sorry, 37. After the boost, she'll just keep drawing cards for you. And then if you have Commander Laurel, which is like that one copy I have in the deck, your hand size gets just insane if this guy hits. So he's really nice. He doesn't hit much, and I don't see him too much because I'm usually unflipping him for Guild Digger, but that's okay. Good card. Before Guild Digger was there, he was like the star of the deck. So we're playing 4 Guild Digger. This is pretty much your answer to missing a stride in order to perform Legion. So what he does is you unflip any Metalborg at all, meaning it can be Guild Digger. If you have 1 heart card, you search your deck for something that can Legion with said heart card, aka Urbuster, and you put it into your heart as well. So you have 2 heart cards now, and then you get to draw a card. So that sets up your Legion, gives you a plus early, which is, you know, every single card matters in my opinion. Unless you're Great Nature, then you just draw millions of cards, and that's really fun to do. And then if he has 2 heart cards, he gains 20k in a crit. You don't need Dryon with this guy. This is the other reason why I don't play Dryon anymore. Black Boy, or Dryon combo nicely with Black Boy, and this guy replaces Dryon, because would you rather swing 22 or like 32 crit, or would you rather swing 46 2 crit with a triple drive? You should be saying 46 2 crit with a triple drive. So yeah, this guy is pretty much the guy I go into 90% of the time now, unless I know my opponent has a PG. In that case, I will stride into Heavy Duke. Again, I want to play 4 Heavy Dukes. Now we move on to the cards I don't stride into, and that's these ones right here. Laurel D, don't know why I bought him. Actually, no, I didn't buy him. I pulled him, and I was just like, oh, I'll just toss him into my Metalborg. He'll probably do something. That number right there exists. So I was like, oh, this guy's so good. When I looked it up, I'm like, oh, he's probably going to be like a $40 card. Oh, wow, he's really cheap. Guess what, Babblerab? You didn't read. So you didn't notice that he's only got a 4k base instead of 15k base. So that whole power threshold you got to get him to, I need to have so many combo pieces in my hand to make it work. Like, if I get like crit triggers that can soul charge to give 3k, that's going to be the theme of the entire video, is just like, oh, I can do that. So like I need to have Russell Blizzards to give 3k, I need to have Mist Ghost to give 4k. Grass Cutter doesn't even work, reason being is that you need a grade 2 and a grade 3. So you need like multiple copies of Reika. It's just a mess. Total mess. And one more thing of note, he has to be at that power before you even swing. So if you were thinking, oh, I'll just use Blacking Burrow to power him up, no, it doesn't work. He has to be at that power before you even actually swing. So Blacking Burrow doesn't even work in this scenario. With every other situation, with Sin Buster and whatnot, it applies when they're boosted, so he'll hit the power level even if he gets powered up by Blacking Burrow. Doesn't work with Laurel D. So he doesn't combo too well with the deck, but I had one, so I figured I've got G-Zone space, let's put him in. We got the GB8 that I can never hit, even though I should theoretically be able to hit it due to the fact that I play 4 copies of Guild Digger, so that should be able to get me to GB8 quickly. Haven't got him off yet. I think the last time I was close to getting to GB8, I died. I lost. What did I lose? No, I didn't lose. I was versing Kiko Niko's Big Bang Knuckles with this, and I was like, I could go to GB8, have a shitty field, or I could just power up Sin Buster with a crap ton of units. Or not crap ton of units. Power-ups, or no, here's what it was. Sorry, I can totally remember the situation. So I knew he had a PG in his hand. I'm like, I could stride into GB8 and swing with a Colossal Column that's going to get PG'd, or I could just make a Colossal Field, and I know for a fact he can't PG this, so I'll just like break his hand. I swung with this, I won. So the GB8's okay. The big problem is that if you know your opponent has a PG in your hand, you just cry. And the bright side about playing Metalborgs is that if you know your opponent has a PG in hand, you can either say, okay, I'm going to go into Guild Digger to bait the PG out explicitly, or if you need to get damage in or drain their hand size, you just play this. So yeah, GB8's okay. I haven't actually ever got it off yet, but you know.
Okay, quick thing to add in. That the GB8 for D-Robe or D-Popo, it's actually insane. So, because your guy gets 5 or 10k in a crit for every single one of your rear guards. If you have 5 rear guards, that means that he's gaining 50k and 5 crit. And either way, like against Kigo Nico, I would have won either way, even if I strode the GBA, because I didn't actually care if I hit this guy. I was swinging for two. I would have been swinging for 2 columns that both had gained 50 crit per unit, aka 100 crit on, or 100 crit. Oh my god, 100 crit. We're gonna deal. Your whole deck is gone now. So, yeah, no, not 50 crit. 50k per unit, which is 100k rearguard columns in addition to everything else. So, me saying that this guy is just okay is a colossal understatement, because even if he misses, your rearguard columns are so freaking massive that it literally is, you need 3 PGs to guard this or you're dead. It's not even a case of, oh, I'll survive if I'm at 5, or I'll survive with just a bunch of cards in my hand. No, it needs to be 3 PGs for the most part if you're at 4 or 5 damage, because you're dead otherwise. I didn't realize how big the columns how big of columns this thing actually made until I was doing a practice draw with, or just a practice scenario with this card to see what it could do. And yeah, I don't remember what I was boosting it with. Might have just been a trigger, but it was swinging like, what was it, 26 plus 5, 76, 5 crit, and then each column was like 110,000 power. And I happened to hit a crit trigger, or 2 crits off the thing, so it's like 115,000 power off of the per rearguard columns 2 crit. That's kind of massive. Just a little bit extremely massive. Anyway, back to me in the past.
If they don't have a PG, I'm sure he's great. I don't know why this card's in my deck, because I need space. Done. That's the only explanation for this guy. I'm sure his effect's okay, it's just I can't attain it. And then they play a large amount of Gguards. 2 Patriot, 2 Go, 2 Dolphin. This is, you know, if I want to turbo to GB8 for whatever reason, I don't know why I'd want to do that. But he's not bad. For every single rearguard that you have on your side of the field, he gains 5k, so he gets pretty big. And then you get to countercharge Soul Charge 1. It's like a win. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, if you have like 3 rearguards, you get a countercharge and a Soul Charge out of him, which sets up for weakening angles and gives you more counterblast for shit. So he's good. I don't mind him. But the reason I play 6 Gguards, I'm guessing, is just because of versatility, because I've run into situations where opponents swing with a large field, I don't have anything in Soul, so Patriot's good. And then I've had situations where opponents swing with a large column, I need more guard, and Go is good. So I run 2 and 2 just because A, don't have much other stuff to run in my G zone that I really care about, and B, 6 Gguards means I can run 2 of each, and I have a good diversity of Gguards to work with. So yeah, that is the Metalborg deck that I've been working on for a while. As of now, as I said, I'm very pleased with how it is performing, running very smoothly, even though it's not as strong as some of my other decks, but that's kind of okay because it still has its own little fun perks about it. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on what to run in the deck, as long as they're not too expensive, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below. If you have any questions in general about Metalborgs, I'm not the best at Depopo, so I can give you opinions about some cards in Metalborgs, but as I said, I don't play this deck competitively, I play it casually. So yeah, questions about the deck, any questions about how well stuff runs, let me know. Other than that, I've got one more deck coming probably tomorrow, which will be Sunday. Wow, I'm not going to be able to, definitely not going to be able to follow through with that promise, but we'll find out. So yeah, we will see you guys in the next video, which will be my Guy Emperor deck, which has replaced Rex's. Peace, guys.